school board June meeting. We'll stand up and have a moment of silence. Then follow the pledge. I'll lead it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank everybody for coming out tonight. Pretty day. And I've got a few things to add to the agenda. If y'all looked, there was a new agenda on right in front of you when you come in. It was an updated one. The updated one will show a C on item number 9, overnight field trip, so that's one you sort of go by. And got to add on under superintendent report A. It originally said approval of history verified credit for student 25401. That is still there, but we're going to add one more. Another student, 26028. 26028. Superintendent report A.
Okay.
Shall have something else to add? I need a motion for approval.
I have the paper that I gave you here. It was Michael Delano, who is the cross-country coach at Twin Springs. He's also an SRO in the system. He's requesting a permission to construct a cross-country course at Twin Springs, and that would require minimal work. There's a GIS on the back, on the second page. I asked him to do the GIS and kind of outline where he wants to put the trail. And it basically runs around the perimeter of the property. He said there was some downed trees and part of that wooded area that would probably need to be sawed just enough to make a path through. And he said that he had measured it and was pretty sure that if this course is completed, that they would be able to host district cross-country meets there, as well as it would give them a good practice course. The length of the course, he said, if you complete it twice, it would provide the required length that VHSL requires for those cross-country courses. And he said the altitude should also meet approval. And he said there were a few down trees that needed to be cut, just a walkway through or a running way through to remove tripping hazards. And I told him possibly if he couldn't get it done himself, that he might be able to get Scott Services to help with that, or just community members to help with it. I told him that our maintenance crews were probably going to be pretty busy this summer, so. But he just asked for that, and I know he had talked to Mr. Mead about this as well. And since Mr. Mead's not here tonight, I just thought I would go ahead and bring that up. If you want to approve it, or if you want further discussion, or if you would like for Mr. Delano to come in and address it, that would be fine too. I just wanted to go ahead and bring this up and give you that information. And if you want to make a motion on it, that would be fine too. If it needs more look, if we need to look at it further, that's not a problem also. So I'll leave that in your hands.
You don't want to talk about it some more? Or we all want to?
Good one. And then to be added to the agenda if there's a majority that wants to.
You want to discuss it any more, Bill, and find some more detail on it, or what?
I can't tell where it is right here altogether. I see part of it. You know,
I sort of like to
can't
talk
see the
about
trail.
it a little bit more.
Huh?
I like to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I would too, just to see exactly where it's gonna be and how much it entails.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he'd be glad to come in
Okay.
and talk to you about it in the next meeting.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be no problem.
Yeah,
I need to know, I mean, if it runs up behind the school up there where the hayfield was and around the front and everything, I don't know.
yeah.
So we got the hilly, it's hilly flat.
It's sort of good.
it would be.
Yeah, I mean, my son run both of my sons run cross country, and hills is normal.
There's gonna be some,
Yeah.
There'll be some hills.
Yeah,
Rock Cove uses,
yeah.
Natural Tunnel State Park is there for their cross-country course, and you know how it is running those trails there, they're up and down, so I think this would be probably fairly comparable to the one at Natural Tunnel, but, I'm sure Mr. Delano would be glad to come in and talk to you about it.
Well, they usually hold most of the cross-country meets there.
Well, in our division, there's Sugar Holler at Bristol, it's around that dam up there, they run up down hills all the time, I tell you. So, I don't, like I said, Natural Tunnel, they're out of that, and it's pretty tough.
And which Cumberland are they usually host?
Way out there, almost to the line, it's a park, what's it called, kind of park out there?
Down there, Lee County, way down in Lee County, towards Thomas Walker, you know where it is.
Yep,
It's way
Wilderness
south.
Road, Wilderness Road State Park,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. And Wise, we go over to the airport somewhere, sometimes.
Was it Bethel? It's the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's it.
It's fairgrounds is where they do cross-country meets for Wise and UVA Wise.
Used to.
They used to at Camp Bethel back, a long time ago.
This was a flat place on top, and I know there's a little sign that says Wise Airport or something. I just thought it was flat.
It's near Wise Airport.
Okay.
It's at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, okay, that's right. There's a ball field.
Correct.
That's right. So that's another one. But they're all,
Yeah, we can talk about it.
yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up. Thank you. All right. Anybody else got anything to add, or if not, I need a motion for approval as the, this one, extra add-on for this student.
I'll make that motion for as is with the addition of the student.
All right, got a motion? Got a motion from Ms. Edwards, got a second from Mr. Hood, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right, approval of minutes. Our last meeting was May the 6th, our regular meeting. Y'all had time to look over that and make sure.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Bill, he's ready. All right, take a motion from Mr. Housewright. Got a second from Mr. Hood, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, approval of claims. Y'all have checked anything in the past month's bills? You got any questions, concerns over? They're still rolling in. Nobody's got any questions? I'll make a motion for approval of claims.
I'll second.
A motion from me, got a second from Ms. Edwards, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, our next item is a recognition of Southwest Virginia VSBA art contestants.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Hasn't been too long ago, our county had brought everyone together for music, art, among other things. We had a large crowd, and it's always hosted there at Gate City Middle School. And also every year, the Virginia School Board Association hosts a Southwest Virginia Region meeting, and they invite participants from each of the school divisions represented to present art contestants or artists on the elementary level, the middle school level, and the secondary level. And they, at that meeting, big judges. I think the judges, whether they have individuals come in or not, I'm not sure the format in which they select them. But I'm always biased because I think our students are very artistic and do an outstanding job. And so I want to recognize, and I have an award or here for Miss Aubrey. Excuse me, I've got these that I'm going to start with elementary. This drawing here is from Natalie Smith. And Natalie is a 4th grade student at Nicholsville Elementary School. So here is her artwork and her certificate to recognize her in that. Our middle school, and I believe Madeline's with us this evening. Madeline, come on up here if you would. This is Madeline Wallace. She is an 8th grader, a rising freshman, Gate City Middle, Gate City High School. So Madeline, I'm going to present you with your certificate. Congratulations. And I want you to look at the drawing. What can you tell me about your drawing here, Madeline? What gave you the idea to come up with this?
We'll make it for myself.
That's good enough. But I'm very proud of you, Madeline. And thank you for allowing me to take yours along with your other classmates here to represent Scott County. And if you don't mind, I would like to hang this in the school board office until this time next year, if that's okay with you and your parents. So if you ever come by the school board office, when you walk in, that'll be one of the first things you see is your drawing. Congratulations. Thank you. Let's get back. We have Aubrey Davis. And she is a rising 11th grader at Wright Cove High School. We've got some talented young folks, very, very talented. Have her certificate as well. So again, congratulations to the three. Thank you for allowing me to hang your drawings, your paintings and drawings in the school board office for everyone to see. Thank you.
We'll move to our next item, as superintendent report. I'll hand it over to Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your package, you will see a request for a verified credit for student number 25401. Can I do this for both of them, Will, or just one individual?
You can do it for both.
As well as also a request for a verified credit for student number 26028. This will be a locally awarded verified credit. I would ask your approval for each of those students.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Mr. Housewright.
I'll second.
Got a second from Ms. Edwards. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
The next item we have is the tentative date for a closeout is Tuesday, June the 24th. Do we want to continue to keep that date available, or do we want to move it to Thursday of that week, which will be June the 26th? This will be a 4 o'clock meeting held at the school board office for our closeout meeting, our annual closeout meeting for this fiscal year.
Somebody need change? No? Or you just want to back it on up a month?
We could leave it alone. Some have discussed maybe pushing it back. Well, within the office, none of the board members, just within the office, possibly pushing it back to Thursday. But if it's all right with you, I'm going to ask that we just keep it on that Tuesday, simply because there may be some things that come up that we will have to finish on the financial end of it to close out prior to the week's end. So that would give us a few days to get everything wrapped up.
Is that Thursday the 24th and Tuesday the 26th?
That's just a little typo.
Actually, it should be Tuesday.
The 24th.
Please scratch Thursday.
Yeah,
It should be
well,
Tuesday. Scratch Thursday, June the 24th.
I think it would be good to have those 2 extra days,
Okay.
just in case. So I would say keep Tuesday, June the 24th.
I'll make a motion for the Tuesday, the 24th. A motion from me, got a second from Mr. Hood, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
The next item we have, and if you notice, we even use this on our agenda tonight. This was on recommendation of the committee who worked with the 6-year plan, comprehensive plan for Scott County Public Schools. And you see the explanation of why they chose the color scheme as well as the stars and each of our 3 high schools being represented in the manner that they are. I thought it turned out very nice. The 15 red, blue, and green stars represent the 13 schools in the district, plus the Career and Technical Center and Alternative Education. Red is Twin Springs, gold is Rock Cove, and blue is Gate City. These 3 high schools represent the finish line for all of our students in the district, and that is why the high school logos are in the center of the Scott County Public Schools logo. And the rings, of course, represent the continuous commitment to providing every child with every opportunity at the 3 high schools and the feeder schools. Does anyone have any questions or would like to see something different, I guess, or any changes?
I think it looks good.
The only thing I've noticed is that Rock Cove has their eagle, Gate City has their fork, and Twin Springs don't have it.
We tried to incorporate the Titan like you see in the corner back here.
Yeah,
The devil head like in Gate City, like each of those 3 drawings there in the back.
Yeah.
But when they put it, and this is blown up now, keep in mind, I have blown this thing up. Whenever we put them on there, it was hard to identify the Titan back here in the corner.
When it's like this.
It was very small. It was hard, you couldn't hardly distinguish what it was, Coach, is what I'm trying to say. And so, after talking, Mr. Mullins and the others said they were good with this, Twin Springs. But that Titan in the back corner was my suggestion, but because of the size of it, it was very hard to distinguish exactly what it was.
You have a head and sword or something, but I don't care. I mean, whatever they like it, I just wondered that's what they.
For Rock Cove, if they put them lettering in gold, it wouldn't have showed up as good.
No.
Probably not.
Looks good to me.
When you come into the school board office, that's what you see engraved in the front desk, or the pictures in the back left corner here.
I'll make a motion to approve. Got a motion from me, got a second from Mr. Hood, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. In your packet, you will find a copy of the school operating budget for the 2025-26 school year. The first stapled papers, of course, represent the revenue comparatively to last year, or excuse me, this present year's budget compared to the proposed budget for the upcoming school year. Also, second set of papers is the explanation of the expenditure end of it. Please keep in mind the school operating budget as well as the cafeteria budget for the 2025-26 school year is still contingent upon approval from the Board of Supervisors. Within this budget, it does include a 3% increase in salaries. That is where you find your largest changes. On the expenditure end, in terms of monies, it's basically the same shouldn't say the same, it's very similar to the same monies that we received this year in many ways. But it does include a 3% increase in salaries for all personnel. And again, this is contingent upon board supervisors' approval of the county's budget.
When's that gonna take place?
That's a good question.
Before July 1st.
Before July 1st, that is correct. Mr. Steele, have you heard anything different? Gabe, have y'all heard anything? I have not. Last meeting I had with them, well, I'll just be quiet.
Should you say let the record show that I laughed?
Do what?
Should you have the record reflect that I laughed?
But again, this is contingent upon the approval of the monies from the county.
So which one are you doing, just D, approval of school operating budget, or did you say something about cafeteria too?
We'll go there next.
Okay.
Right now, just the
School operating.
school operating budget.
Anybody got a question on it? None, I'm gonna make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
A motion from me, got a second from Ms. Edwards, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And the second budget we have is the cafeteria budget. And again, it is contingent upon what the county locality does in regards to the 3% raise. If for some reason those monies are cut from the school operating budget, the same effect will take place with the cafeteria as well. Okay? Their salaries are reflective upon a 3% increase as well. And it's very similar, but you will see an increase in the salaries, and that is where you see the difference between this present year and the proposed budget for the 2025-26 budget that you have before.
Make a motion for approval. Okay. Yeah, got a motion from me, got a second from Mr. Hood, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And the next item we have, and we have never actually done this before, but this is at the request of the auditors, the Head Start budget for 2025-26 school year. And I asked Ms. Carter to incorporate the word projected. This is and the reason for that is this is anticipation of them being awarded monies for their program for this upcoming year. That has not been released yet. Again, this is a proposed budget based off of the information that they have provided in hopes of receiving that award for the program. Does anyone have any questions in regards to it?
So this is only proposed, right?
Yes. This is a projected, of course, it's contingent upon they being recipients of the award itself, for the grant monies themselves. And hopefully here within the next couple of weeks, they will make that announcement, if I'm correct. Is that correct, Ms. Edwards?
Yes, yes. And the folks at HHS, the meeting that I sat in on, they sounded like that it was just a matter of moving the funds from one, into the account, and they sounded pretty confident that it would be, so.
At our closeout meeting, I will present each of the three budgets one more time. And we'll have to advertise it. And then that would be our official budget for the upcoming year without any changes, hopefully. At this time, I just ask you to approve the projected budget. Next item we have is a resolution. This is for our BPSA monies that we receive. Unless there's any questions in regards to this particular, I would ask your approval of this BPSA grant as presented. Remember, BPSA, we use those monies as upgrades with our current wireless infrastructure, all of our technology. That is what these monies are used for. Servers, purchase of Chromebooks, a lot of software maintenance upgrades, so that is what this money is used for here. Unless there's any questions, I ask your approval of this resolution, the BPSA grant.
Motion from Mr. Hood,
Second.
second from Mr. Housewright. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Now I'm going to do all these next ones as a full group. For the 2025-26, I ask your approval that the school division submit applications for each of the grants as I read these off to you. Title I, Part A. And if you notice on your paper as well, you'll see the amounts listed. Title I, Part A, Title II, Part A, Title III, Part A, Title IV, Part A, Title IV, Part B, Title VI, Title VI-B, Forest Reserve Funding, and the Perkins Career and Technical Education.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion from Mr. Edwards. A second from Mr. Hood. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item we have is the Head Start Financial Report for April of 2025. Unless there's any questions in regards to this document, I ask your approval as presented.
Motion from Mr. Hood,
Second.
second from Mr. Housewright. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, we have the 2025-2026 Head Start Transportation Waiver Request. Unless there's any questions in regards to this document, I ask your approval as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Ms. Edwards, second from Mr. Hood. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I also need to ask your approval to remove a 2008 Chevrolet Uplander from the tangible personal property inventory. Again, this is with Head Start.
I make a motion. It's pretty bad shape, baby.
I'll second that.
Got a motion from Mr. Housewright, a second from Ms. Edwards. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item we have, and this is informational purposes, is the Head Start Director's Report for May of 2025. Unless there's any questions in regards to that document, it's for informational purposes.
I make a motion.
It's just for information.
All kinds of information.
Next item we have, and I do need to ask your approval to have a surplus sale on July the 5th, beginning at 9 a.m. It'll be held at the bus garage. You see a partial list of items that have been included. I expect this list to continue to grow, but we do have several buses that are no longer being used, along with other automobiles, as well as smaller items from each of the schools. And again, I do expect this list to grow, but this gives you a good idea of what to look for in terms of items to be sold on July the 5th.
Have you got a bottom end number or anything on these buses or something, so when you sell it? Like, I mean, we sell one of these for $1,000, I mean, do we have a bottom number where they work on that?
I think that just, you're talking about starting point, bottom figure,
No, I sell one, like we don't get that bad.
Reserve.
a reserve.
Yeah.
It's just kind of just whatever they get, whatever we get out of them. Some of them are operational and others are far from that.
I see a couple of them that says in-off.
Yeah,
I just wonder.
it's, usually these types of items usually draw a pretty good crowd if the weather's pretty. Last one we had, I think we ended up making about $30,000. Again, those buses that are listed, they're worn out.
They auction them off, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Right.
We have auctioneer, we have folks from the public that come and register and get their number. Highest bid gets it. But unfortunately, we don't have a reserve, Mr. Tim's on those.
Yeah, that's just a question.
Is everything auctioned off? Is that the way, everything's auctioned off?
Whatever's there that day will be auctioned.
I think that date's gonna hurt you a little bit.
That's the date we have used in years past, Saturday, before or after the 4th.
Make a motion to approve it with surplus sale date.
I'll second
Got a motion from me, got a second from Ms. Edwards, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And we'll advertise it as well with a more defined list of items in the county paper, as well as on the website. We'll do that too. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, that's all that I have. Thank you.
All right. My understanding, we need to go into closed meeting.
I move that we enter into a closed meeting to discuss candidates for employment and the assignment and performance of teachers, coaches, principals, secretaries, custodians, and cafeteria staff, as provided in section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia as amended.
A second. I got a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We're going to adjourn for a moment.